that probably the kind of pressure that would come Kenya's way towards containing these vices could be less. And should that be the concern of Kenyans, that what happens in the US could just as well affect our conversation, that if at all they stay democratic, the Democratic Party, then the push for Kenya to actually contain and rectify the human rights record will be bigger than if at all Trump takes over.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, as my senior brother Kira said, Democrats are more concerned about civil liberties, civil rights, democracy, accountability, and so on and so forth. So if Kamala succeeds Biden, you can be sure that she'll change the gear. And she'll come up with policies that will force this administration to address issues to do with those areas that I've mentioned. In the same vein, if Trump took over, I don't really think he's bothered about Africa. After all, if you look at the business America does with Africa, it's nothing to talk about. The only thing is that they use our soil for strategic defense operations. So that's where they benefit. And that's where Africa is considered to be an ally and a strategic partner. But in terms of the economy, we add nothing. We add no value to the American people.
Yet we depend too much on this, especially on this issue. Just looking at our headline, it depends so much on diplomats, the West, and the pressure that comes from there to contain some of the issues that we are facing here.
Of course, the West, because civil liberty, civil rights is a big matter, is a big issue. So they, of course, forced to talk about it, to speak on it, because these are issues that they hold very dear. They are not like most of the African states where civil liberty is something that is put in the back burner. So, of course, you would expect that diplomats from the West will talk about these issues in one voice.
And the ongoing debate about the scramble for Africa, just like the colonial days, appears to be a competition to control African and African resources between Europe, Russia now making inroads. You say a change, maybe a Republican administration would not really be bothered about Africa either way. How would that change the life for Africa, not just Kenya?
Well, it is